Do you think your emotions truly belong to you? The shocking truth is that someone out there knows exactly how to press your deepest buttons, how to make you feel guilt, love, or fear at the exact moment they choose. Emotional manipulation in relationships is not fiction. It's real, it's dangerous, and it's happening all around you every single day. In this video, I'll reveal the secrets they tried to hide from you before they vanish forever. Most people walk through life believing their feelings are their own, a pure, unfiltered response to their world. But what if I told you that this very belief makes you a prime target, an unwitting participant in a game you don't even know you're playing? Imagine a puppet on strings, dancing to a melody it thinks it chose, yet every sway, every turn is dictated by an unseen hand. This isn't a theory. This is the often concealed reality of emotional manipulation, a silent war waged in the most intimate corners of our lives, our relationships. It's a subtle art, one that exploits our deepest needs, our most primal fears, and our innate desire for connection, turning them into weapons against us. But today, we begin to cut those strings. We're going to dive into the unseen playbook, the unwritten rules of this insidious game, and uncover how these tactics work, why they're so effective, and crucially, how you can spot them before they erase your awareness completely. This isn't about fostering paranoia. It's about reclaiming your autonomy, your emotional sovereignty, and understanding the true landscape of human interaction. One of the most pervasive, yet often underestimated manipulation tactics is the silent treatment, or its more active counterpart, strategic withdrawal. Have you ever found yourself in a disagreement, or perhaps just voiced a minor concern, only for your partner, friend, or even a family member to suddenly become distant, unresponsive, or completely shut down? It's not just them being upset. It's a calculated move. This isn't about needing space to cool down. It's about exerting control. By withdrawing their presence, their affection, or their communication, they create an emotional void. You, on the other hand, are left scrambling, wondering what you did wrong, feeling the intense discomfort of unresolved conflict. Your natural inclination is to bridge that gap, to apologize, to concede, anything to bring back the peace, to restore the connection, even if it means sacrificing your own needs or perspective. They know this. They've learned that by pulling away, they can effectively punish you for boundaries you set, opinions you hold, or desires you express, subtly teaching you that certain behaviors will lead to their disapproval and emotional abandonment. This tactic leverages our fundamental human need for belonging and acceptance, turning it into a tool for compliance. And over time, it erodes your confidence in your own perceptions, leaving you walking on eggshells, constantly censoring yourself to avoid another freeze out. Then there's the insidious weapon of guilt tripping, a masterclass in emotional blackmail. This is where someone subtly, or not so subtly, twists a situation to make you feel responsible for their unhappiness, their struggles, or their sacrifices. After everything I've done for you, they might sigh, you would abandon me now? Or, I guess my feelings don't matter as much as your plans do. They paint themselves as the victim, the long-suffering martyr, creating a narrative where any assertion of your own needs becomes an act of cruelty or selfishness. This tactic thrives on your empathy, your conscience, and your desire to be a good person. It taps into that primal fear of being perceived as ungrateful or uncaring, When you're constantly made to feel guilty, your decision-making process becomes skewed. You start to prioritize their supposed pain over your own well-being, agreeing to things you don't want to do, apologizing for things you didn't do wrong, all to alleviate that gnawing feeling of being the bad guy. This isn't just about making you feel bad. It's about binding you to them through an invisible chain of obligation, ensuring that your actions are always dictated by their emotional state rather than your own authentic desires. The psychological toll is immense as you slowly lose the ability to differentiate between genuine remorse and manufactured guilt. And what about those moments when someone seems almost too charming, too complimentary, too supportive, especially when you're feeling vulnerable or uncertain? This is often the cunning deployment of fake compliments and flattery, a Trojan horse in the emotional landscape. They might shower you with praise for trivial things, inflate your ego with grand statements, or express profound admiration, but there's a catch. These aren't genuine affirmations. They're strategic investments. They're essentially love-bombing you, making you emotionally vulnerable so that when they eventually ask for something, when they need a favor, or when they want to subtly shift your perspective, you're more likely to comply. "You're so brilliant. I knew you'd understand why I had to do what I did," they might say, subtly excusing their own bad behavior. Or, "You're the only one who truly gets me, which is why I need you to." The flattery disarms your critical thinking, making you drop your guard and lowering your defenses. You become addicted to their validation, and in doing so, you surrender a piece of your independent judgment, making it easier for them to steer your decisions and beliefs in their desired direction, often without you even realizing it's happening. So, why does the human mind so easily fall into these traps, sometimes even repeatedly? It's not a sign of weakness. It's a testament to the intricate wiring of our social brains. We are hardwired for connection, for belonging, for love. From the moment we are born, our survival depends on others. This deep-seated need makes us susceptible to anyone who promises to fulfill it, or conversely, threatens to withhold it. When a manipulator employs the silent treatment, they're tapping into our primitive fear of abandonment, creating a psychological panic that overrides rational thought. Guilt-tripping exploits our innate desire to be good, to be moral, to contribute positively to our relationships. And flattery, well, it scratches that universal itch for validation and self-worth. Our brains are constantly trying to make sense of the world, to find patterns, and to predict outcomes. When manipulation enters the picture, it creates a distorted reality. Our minds try to resolve this cognitive dissonance, the uncomfortable mental state of holding conflicting beliefs or perceptions. For instance, if someone we love and trust acts manipulatively, our brain struggles with the contradiction. Instead of concluding that the person is manipulative, it's often easier and less emotionally painful to adjust our own perception, to blame ourselves, or to rationalize their behavior. This mental gymnastics keeps us locked in the cycle, making it incredibly difficult to see the manipulation for what it truly is. Consider Sarah, a brilliant artist, whose partner constantly praised her unique vision, but subtly criticized any attempt she made to sell her work independently, suggesting her art was too pure for commercialism, implying he was protecting her. But every time she landed a gallery show, he'd suddenly become distant, withdraw affection, and make her feel guilty for neglecting him. Soon, Sarah found herself avoiding opportunities, prioritizing his emotional comfort over her passion, all because her subconscious mind had learned to associate her success with his disapproval and, by extension, with loneliness. Or Mark, who was always made to feel guilty by his mother for wanting to move to another city for a job opportunity. "I'm so proud of you, but who will take care of me when I get old?" she'd say, her voice laced with sadness. Mark felt torn, his ambition battling with a profound sense of obligation. He started to doubt his decision, wondering if he was a terrible son, slowly allowing his mother's emotional needs to hijack his life choices. These aren't isolated incidents. They are real-life manifestations of how manipulation warps our internal compass, slowly, subtly, like a drip, drip, drip of poison, until we barely recognize our own reflections. The way manipulation affects the subconscious mind is particularly chilling. It operates beneath the surface of conscious awareness, weaving narratives and programming responses without our explicit permission. Imagine your mind as a vast garden. Conscious thoughts are the plants you choose to cultivate, but the subconscious is the soil itself, where unseen roots spread and determine the health of the entire ecosystem. Manipulation plants seeds in this soil. Through repetition of tactics like gaslighting, where your reality is constantly questioned and denied, your subconscious begins to doubt your own sanity, your memories, your perceptions. Did that really happen? Am I overreacting? Maybe I'm crazy. This erosion of self-trust is the ultimate goal, because once you no longer trust yourself, you become entirely dependent on the manipulator's version of reality. Your internal alarm system, that gut feeling that warns you when something is wrong, becomes muted, even silenced. The subconscious mind, seeking safety and consistency, will eventually adapt to this distorted reality, creating new neural pathways that reinforce the manipulator's narrative. This is why breaking free from manipulative relationships can feel like waking up from a long, confusing dream, where the ground beneath your feet suddenly feels unfamiliar.